Decolonization in Palestine. I'm your host, Khadija Safdar, founder of Save Our Mother Earth. In this episode, we have a remarkable guest who represents both hope and resilience in the face of diversity. Farah Obada is just 15 years old, and she is the youngest programmer from Gaza. Her story is one of determination and vision, especially as we delve into the topic of decolonization in Palestine. Farah, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much. You're welcome anytime.
So let's start with your journey. Can you tell us a bit about yourself? I mean, who is Farah Obada? A lot of people are following your Insta and TikTok. And how did you become involved in programming at such a young age?
Okay, I'm Farah Obada, a Palestinian girl raised in Gaza, who was forced to face war and displacement in this age. Before the war, I had a life. I used to go to school. I was a programmer, designer since the age of 9. I used to participate in many things. So I loved programming so much since the age of 9, as I said, because I love it, It's the place I love to code. I love to code with my laptop in my room. And I was really talented in programming since 9. So yeah, this is me.
All right. So, your journey is truly inspiring, Farah. Now let's talk about Gaza. Can you describe what life has been like you growing up there? How has the situation evolved from your birth till now? And after 7th October, how did the life change after that? I'm sure since you were born, you must have seen, war ever since. And how has life, changed from then till now? And has it changed at all?
Okay. Like growing up in Palestine, exactly in Gaza, has been a huge impact on how I think about colonization and the difficult political and social conditions that we live through under occupation made us feel like strong sense of a need for a change. Like it's like so hard. I'm just like 15, 16 years old, but I lived eight wars already in my life. So I see colonialism as a major problem that hinders peace. This makes me support national rights and independence. The daily struggles and challenges I went through in my life helped me shape my strong belief in need to decolonize and achieve freedom for my people. Our life here before the war was difficult. Yeah, imagine living in a large prison. Even though we loved our life and Gaza was the best place for us with the amount of siege and difficulties that we faced, but Gaza was the most beautiful for us because it's our homeland, because it's our country. But now all of this has been destroyed since the 7th of October, unfortunately.
So, Farah, the situation in Gaza took a dramatic turn on 7th October, just like you mentioned. So, how has this escalation affected you and your family? And what has this been like for you as a person who is so young, during this period?
Yeah, so it's so hard since the October 7th. It's the hardest war I lived in my life since the October 7th. So since the October 7th, we have to evacuate from our home. I didn't see my home for almost a year. I don't know if my home's still there or it's been destroyed or damaged. So I don't see my home for a whole year. Access to food is very difficult, to the water, everything so hard. So my experience in Gaza right now during this war is full of fear and constant anxiety. From the moment I wake up, I live with the sounds of bombing and explosion that never stop. Even in my home where I should feel safe, I don't feel secure because I don't know when or where the next missile will hit. Every day is a struggle to survive. The electricity is cutting off and the communication sometimes difficult. The signal is difficult so much to have signal here and the internet, which makes me feel more isolated and scared. Even getting food and water has become risky because leaving the house or the place you are in now could mean being caught in attack. I see the fear in the eyes of the children around me, in the eyes of my siblings, and sometimes they ask when this war will end. But I don't have an answer for them. The daily senses of destruction and bodies under the rubble make it hard for me to stay strong. The hospitals are full. There are too many wounded, and the medical supplies are running out already, which make the feeling of helplessness worse for me. So yeah, this has affected me and my family so much in this war and affected my daily routine. The war has changed my daily life a lot and make me feel scared and safe all the time. We have to leave our house, our home, to find a temporary place to stay in with my family. About a year ago, I don't feel settled like I did at home. The sounds of explosion and bombing are always with me, making me feel terrified. I have trouble sleeping, and even playing, which has part of my siblings' daily life, is now too dangerous or even impossible. I don't feel I've lost a lot of my childhood and teenagers years, so I can't enjoy the simple things that everyone in the world used to. My school has also been damaged before it damaged. It's being used as a shelter for the people. I miss my friends, my lessons, my teachers, and it makes me sad because I love learning and playing with every day. I'm afraid of losing someone in my family or seeing more destruction around me. I don't know what will happen tomorrow or now, and this makes me feel unsafe all the time. All I wish for is my life to return to normal and feel safe again, inshallah.
Inshallah. So, Farah, a lot of people have asked that why don't Palestinians they evacuate, they leave their land and go somewhere else? Why don't you guys do it? Like a lot of people, a lot of journalists have
Out
done
of
that.
Gaza?
Uh-huh.
Out of Gaza?
Yeah, out of Gaza. Yeah.
It's so hard. You can't go out like going and on a trip, going to airport and go out of Gaza. No, it's not that easy, man. So you can't go out of Gaza. The only border is opening in Gaza. It's Rafah crossing. Now it's closed actually. So you have to pay about $5,000 to go out for
Oh
person,
my
for every
God.
person. What?
That is a lot. That is a lot of money.
Yeah. And if you pay the $5,000, you will go about 1 month after. So it's like so hard. Before the war, you have to pay a lot, like $300, but now it's $5,000 for every person, and sometimes 6,000, 7,000. Yeah. As
And
much as you pay,
obviously,
as
yeah.
much you go faster.
Mm-hmm. And
So like
obviously,
it's so
people in
hard.
Palestine don't have that much money. I mean, their properties have been
Uh,
destroyed, their homes have been destroyed. How would they collect that much money, even if they want
yeah.
to evacuate?
There's no job for almost a year. All our savings that we used it for phones, we used it for internet, we use it for food. Food is very expensive here. So we used all of our savings on food, water, and everything. So you don't have anything to pay to the hala to go out.
Hmm. So Farah, and I also listened to Hamza Sada on TikTok, and he was saying that all the universities in Palestine or in Gaza they have been destroyed. So, and even I think colleges too. So, what are you going to do once, inshallah, the war ends? What are you going to do then?
So the war in Gaza has greatly affected my dreams and ambitions as a programmer and designer. I had hoped to succeed in my field and develop my skills, but this side has destroyed many of these hopes. First, the war damaged the infrastructure. It's now hard to access internet and electricity and water and use my devices, which will make it difficult for me to work on my projects as I wanted. Second, the impact on my mental and emotional stability. You know that the constant fear and bombings and death makes it so hard to focus on work and be creative. The stress makes me feel frustrated and lose motivation to achieve anything. There are places where I used to learn and train, like universities and tech centers, have been damaged, all of them. The schools, universities, tech centers, anything you can like learn in it, they damage it. The destruction have affected my opportunities to continue and growing professionally, make it hard to keep up with the last developments in my field. And the war had a huge impact on me as a life was, and I was in my final year of school. I was very excited about graduating. I started a new chapter in my life, but the bombing ruined everything and all my studies and everything. I hope after the war I can go out from Gaza and complete my studies, complete giving the world the message that we are love to life. We will be great in the future, inshallah.
Inshallah. So, Farah, in light of the current crisis, what are your expectations from the United Nations and from the Muslim countries? What kind of support do you believe is necessary to address the situation in Gaza effectively?
Mm. As a child in Gaza, I might think that how world views our situation affects our chances of ending this war and colonization in Palestine and Gaza. It seems like international community often makes weak efforts to help us. The decision by the world leaders and organization, it's really great, but don't always consider our real problems or focus what we need the most. I might feel like that the leads to no real progress in the ending of occupation and getting free. Even though the leaders and organizations say great things about us, but this rarely turn into real changes in our life. So I expect, inshallah, in the future that everyone can help us. There's a lot of way to help actually. You don't have to pay or something like that. One of the most helpful things that boycotting actually. So I expect anyone in the world, anyone has humanity to boycott everything. It really helps actually to the end the occupation here in Palestine and Gaza. So I hope that the world can take strong action to support us, which leaving us feeling really good when anyone talk about us.
So, Farah, you mentioned boycott, and there are other types as well. You could donate for Palestine. You could make them easy to leave Gaza, to evacuate and go to another country, and you could raise awareness. But